Good morning. In the following 5 or 6 minutes, I want to show you how to make a bar graph to compare two means. Particularly in this bar graph, we want to have error bars. Error bars are not required, but they're very easy to use. They tell you a lot about the data, and you need them to get an A, so why not? First of all, in my spreadsheet, what I've done is I have entered two sets of data. They are fictitious, so that's why they don't compare to your own. But I have my experimental data, which is these 6 points, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I have my ideal value, which is, of course, 6 sets of the same number, since there is only one ideal value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason for having 6 of them is that I can just perform the same mathematical functions, and it's going to be an easier comparison. All right. First of all, in order to make a comparison of averages, I need to find the mean. So the simple formula for the mean, since spreadsheets are designed for formulas, and let's make it do the work for us, is I'm going to double click on this box, and then I'm going to enter the formula equals average, left parenthesis, then I select my data, right parenthesis, and then enter. And look at that. What it's done is it has now calculated the average of all those cells. And I can double click here just to see the formula again. Wow, that looks cool. Well, to do the same thing on this side, I can, of course, just drag this handlebar over. But I don't want to do it that way. Just for practice, let's do it again. Formula equal average, left parenthesis, click and drag, right parenthesis, enter. There's my mean, which is, of course, 12, what all those numbers are. Now, in order to have error bars later, I'm going to have to specify what the error bars should be. We haven't done any statistics in here, and we'll just stay away from that for now because we have enough numbers to grapple with in chemistry. So let's simply use the range of our data. Now, if you notice in my neatly organized numbers, the average is, of course, the value in the center, and I'll have a range, in this case evenly spread on both sides. If my mean is 10.5, then my smallest value, 10, will be 2.5 below the mean. And my largest value, 15, will be 2.5 above the mean. In other words, my range is going to be plus or minus 2.5 on this scale. Okay? On this side, of course, my range is going to be 0. It is neither above nor below 12 because 12 is my ideal value with no variation. Next, I want to produce my graph. For my graph, I'm going to select my two headers because this is very intelligent and highly developed software, and I'm going to select my two means. Then to make a graph, I'm going to go up here to the Insert menu. I'm going to go over here to the bar function, and I'm going to click on 2D bars. Pretty nice. All right, here's my graph. So this is the data that I have graphed here. Notice that it has neatly put these headers here under each column so that I can identify what they are. And I can edit them. Experimental. And my editing here should change the values there as well. For example, this one should have a capital I in it. Let's put a capital I in it. Bingo. Now they're fixed. Okay, very cool. So now I have two bars, but of course you can do that anyways, right? The tricky thing here is now to get the error bars in. To get the error bars in, I first have to select my data sets in the graph, which is one of these bars. Now if I click here once, left click, notice that both of my bars are selected, or columns as Microsoft likes to call them. Now I want to add something to these, and what I'm going to do, click on this plus, I'm going to use error bars here. Click. Notice this is weird. Both of my errors are the same, which is of course not true, since over here I have variability, but over here I have no variability. So next I have to fix that. To fix that, do the following. Under error bars, once you check it, go over here to this triangle, left click, go down here to more options, and then now we'll be working inside this menu which just popped up. And I have to scroll straight to the bottom. I want to use custom. Once I have clicked on that, then I have to specify value, click there too, left click. Now, I'm going to use this table, and this is a little bit counterintuitive. What I want to paste in here is these two cells. Okay, so I'm just going to select all that data. Just click and drag to select normal GUI function. And then I'm going to replace it with click and hold and drag there. So I'm going to paste effectively both those boxes in. And I just let go of my left button, and it automatically pastes in. Now I'm going to select this again and do same thing. Click, drag, let go, and now it's pasted in here. Now there's a little problem here. It should be equal and start with the word sheet. So I'm going to have to take out the plus, click backspace, 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 backspace. So now they both say equal sheet. Now I'm good. Hit OK. And this is very cool. Do you see that? These error bars now represent the range of my data. Notice that the maximum value is at 15, right? And the minimum value is at 10, right? And how did it know to do that? Because I told it that the range of my data is 2.5. In other words, the highest value will be 2.5 above my mean, and the lowest value will be 2.5 below my mean. And look at that. Over on my ideal value, it says I have error bars, but once I click somewhere else to deselect them, they effectively disappear. And that makes sense, right? Because in my ideal value, I really have no variability. So what this shows me now is that in my experimental data set here, I have a variability that is between 10 and 15. So all my data falls in there somewhere. And on my ideal value, I have a measurement of 12, and I have no variability in that data. Now we'll talk about what that means later, but now you should be able to make a column graph with error bars in it, and you can cut and paste this graph and put it into your report. Don't forget, however, to put in dimensions and units and the appropriate title before you do so. Thanks for watching.